Your competition, especially when you're first starting out, is you. And I see so many new real estate agents who simply don't know where they're going because they've never sat down to plan and visualize what it is they want their business to look like. And the reality is that if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up somewhere else. You don't get in the car to go somewhere and not know where you're going. You don't just get in and start driving without knowing your destination. And that's not to say that as you're growing your real estate business, things aren't going to change and evolve. They certainly are. But you've got to have a plan when you are growing a business. And that will hold true the entire time you are running a business. There needs to be a plan in place. And I like breaking that plan down into what you're going to be doing on a daily basis, what you're going to be doing on a weekly basis, monthly, biannually, and annually. And that's because those small little mundane tasks that you're doing on a daily basis are what compounds to then move those big boulders in your business forward. And the reality is, if you don't have that all mapped out, then you are not going to be able to move those big boulders in your business. And what I see happening the majority of the time with new real estate agents is that there's no plan in place. There are no lead pillars for how you're going to be generating leads in your business. There's nothing mapped out for what they want their client experience to look like. And the reality is, you have to learn all of that. You're not going to just inherit another agent's skills when you're growing your business. And it's very easy to get distracted as a new agent because it's a fire hose of information. And that really doesn't change as your career progresses. But what does change, and what I see the successful agents doing, is they are zoned in on what it is that moves their business forward. And that's unique to them. It is not a one size fits all. Your lead pillars could look very different from my lead pillars, which could look very different from the next agent's lead pillars, but you have to be zoned in on what it is you want to become an expert in. And once you begin to do that and stay hyper focused, that's when you really start to see the needle move forward. So I'm going to give you an example that I see new agents make a misstep on frequently. And that is, even if they have selected a lead pillar, which a lot of the time they really haven't, it's just, oh, I need business. And that's way too general. But where I see a misstep made a lot is that, let's just use an example of a new agent has decided to go all in on Instagram. And then that new agent starts posting, starts working on it, but then they see this other agent in their market who is killing it on YouTube. Again, just an example. It could be any other lead generation strategy you could think of. And then that agent who is supposed to be focused on learning and becoming the most knowledgeable they possibly can on Instagram to generate leads gets distracted and says, oh, well, this agent is doing really great, killing it on YouTube. So now I'm going to do YouTube too. Or now I'm going to focus on YouTube, when they never completed and became really good at Instagram. And if you are trying to be a jack of all trades when you're running a business, you are going to be at best mediocre. You are not going to master what it is that you've chosen as your lead generation strategy. Or you're not going to fine tune your client experience because you're getting distracted by all of the different programs out there that can help you cultivate that client experience. You have to be laser focused, and that focus begins on determining and visualizing how you want your business to look. This is not a bad thing. It's a really great thing that when you are betting on yourself, you're starting your own business, you can make it look however you want. Real estate works a million different ways. There are so many different real estate agents out there. And even if you look at the most successful agents, they're generating leads differently. But you know what is consistent in their business is that they know exactly what their focus needs to be on in order to move their business forward. And that is really what I want you to take away most from this video today is that you can design your business however you see fit. What is going to work for you, what feels aligned to you, how you want to generate leads, what you want your client experience to look like, how much business you actually want to do. And then from there, you need to be able to implement those ideas and be consistent and execute on them. You can't be distracted and jumping from one thing to the next because then you're never going to get really good at it. And you can watch agents in any market, anywhere. Those agents that are most successful, they are focused. They are not hopping on Instagram and going, oh, well, I'm going to discontinue my farm mailers this month because, this agent in this other state is 10 timesing their business using Instagram or using YouTube or using insert whatever lead generation strategy you want here. That's not how they're running their business. And I think as a new agent, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. I don't want to downplay that fact either. There's just so much coming at you, so much you need to learn, so much you need to do and organize, etc. And it's overwhelming. It is a lot. But the only way to work through that successfully is to be extremely organized and focused. It can't be this abstract vision that you have for your business, or you are going to find yourself completely off course. And I think that's where a lot of agents, especially the new ones, they don't last long in this business because they get their license and then they're looking for someone to tell them what to do and hold their hand through growing a business. And that just simply is not entrepreneurship. And when you become a new real estate agent, you have to understand that within that, you are also starting a business. Even if you decide to join a team, which I think can be a great option for new agents to help get that structure. But keep in mind that even when you're joining a team and a brokerage for that matter, that they are not there to grow your business. That is your job as a business owner. So the next time that you are working through your day and feeling like you are just overwhelmed with what you have to do, take a breath, really look at what tasks are going to move your business forward. And if you can't answer that quickly, then take another step back and outline those tasks. That is something that you need to be looking at on a daily basis. What do I need to do within my business to move it forward? What is going to move the needle forward? Because it is really, really easy in real estate. And I think in general, as a business owner, it doesn't even have to be real estate. It's really easy to be super, super busy and not be productive at all. We all get the same amount of hours in the day, but how we use them and where our focus is what's ultimately going to determine how our business looks. And I would say also how quickly we get to the point that we have reached the success that is our end goal, whatever that is. I'm not implying that it needs to be, close 50 deals a year. That's a video for another time because I think there's a lot of pressure on agents that it has to be more, more, more. And that's not my message at all. It needs to be more of what you want your business to look like and how you want to show up and serve your clients. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.